Hello and welcome back to another TCG Live pack opening. Today we're cracking open 8 Surging Sparks packs. Starting off with the Cryogonal floating through the snow-covered forest. Watchel coming in for a landing on the beach at night. Sunny Cast Form, happy to see the clouds parting above them. The very hungry Crocalor wandering the mountains. Altaria flying over the beautiful looking lands. I can't really... It's such a mixture, I can't really pin one down. Pavakal rearing back for a fierce kick at sunset. Executor happily racing towards the ocean. Charcadet running through the forest at sunset, for our first reverse I do believe. Terra Orb Trainer for the second. And our rare of the pack is a nice Togekiss flying over the blooming tulip field. Vibrava flying away from the soon-to-be erupting volcano. Zebstrika running across the plains. Esper on the pillow-covered couch. The Shellos pair on the very interestingly done sand dune pile things. Esprothra in the windy wastelands. Braviary diving in to snatch something up with their claws. Fluttermane playing around with the Will-O-Wisp at sunset. Flutter might have been a reverse, I'm not sure. Oricorio, this is ballet style Oricorio, dancing through the leaves. Okay, that was our first. Our second would be the Quaxwell, perched on the rock by the river. And our rare of the pack is the Tapu Lele, spreading petals in the blooming field. Zweilous running across the field. The rock in the back always reminds me of the Pride Rock from Lion King. A Darsana Trainer, one of the only elite full members from Gen 6 I don't despise. Dawnfan charging through the fog at sunset. Magnemite floating up the path in the afternoon. Indeedee throwing books off the shelf for some reason. Oh, no, my mistake. It's the opposite. They're manipulating the books back onto the shelves. Executor running towards the ocean. Walrein having just slipped into the water. Quaxley by the windy coast. Clobbopus looking a little bit scared on the rock out in the ocean for our second reverse apparently. And a very nice Tapu Koko covered in zaps for our rare. Fuecoco sitting by the water's edge. I like how we can see the reflection in the water. Castform happy to see the clouds part. Fuecoco sitting by the water's edge. Excadrill clawing their way out of their own hole. Azumarill happily running across the field. Clement's Quick Wit Trainer. The Koraidon powering up in the ancient jungle. Celio floating on the ice sheet for our first reverse. Second would be Grafai Eye painting up the tree. And our rare of the pack is Tapu Lele spreading petals. And I say we're about halfway there. Dunfist sinking into the wet sand at sunset. Bouffalant going in for a fierce horn attack. The cute Smoochum standing in front of the stars. Delmise having washed up on the mossy shore. Appletun racing across the field, so fast that he almost is losing his hat. A Surfer Trainer. Miraidon with both cannons charged up before they launch an attack. Dialga in a fierce battle as they charge up an attack for our first reverse, I do believe. Our second would be a very nice Alolan Dugtrio IR sitting by the coast. And once again we have the Togekiss flying over the tulip field. Skarmory flying in for a Steel Wing attack. Bouffalant charging in for a horn attack. The surprise Vampy sitting by the water's edge. Swepa inside their tree hollow home in autumn. Xerneas sending off beams in many directions as they run through the forest. Gravity Mountain Trainer. Kilowattrel speeding over the coastal town. The Shellos pair on the weird sand dunes for the first reverse. Second would be Excadrill clawing their way out of their own hole. And the rare of the pack is the Palkia firmly planting their feet. Couple of packs to go. Charcadet running through the forest. Quaxwell perched by the river. The very nice model Appletun on the rocks in the forest. Smooching with the stars behind them. Vivillon stopping to admire the beautiful flowers. Miraidon, both cannons charged up. Vivillon stopping to see the flowers. Clef Key floating down the hallway that's so bright it hurts your frickin' eyes for our first reverse. Second would be a Gravity Mountain Trainer. And our rare of the pack is the Coffagregus Will-O-Wisp floating all around him. Alrighty, it's come that time once again to find out his last pack best pack or not. If you want more details on the rules, there's a video link down below. It's going to be a little bit rough. We saw an IR earlier with the Ololindug trio, but we'll see how it goes. Ballet style Oricorio flinging leaves into the air. Dean very nicely styled Tandemaus in the forest. Esper sitting on the couch with lots of pillows. Togetic coming out of their cave home. Grafai painting up the tree. Vivillon admiring the flowers. Iron Bundle preparing to launch off a hydro pump. Amulet of Hope Trainer. I think that's our first reverse. Yes. Koraidon powering up in the jungle. And our rare of the pack would be the Chen Pao, coating everything around him in ice. A very nice card, and the A-Spec was cool, though, so while in organization A-Specs are after everything else, I don't really consider them to be much better than an IR in themselves, so it's unfortunately going to be another no for last pack best pack, which ticks the streak up to 1 if I'm not mistaken. Well, as always, I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you next time for another TCG Live pack opening.